You won't believe what they're claiming now. Hey guys, Britt here. Welcome to End Times Bible Prophecy. Well, not only does Albania boast the world's first AI minister, but now Albania's prime minister is saying that that AI minister is pregnant with 83 children. This is nothing short of absolute insanity, and what Albania is doing threatens to take them and the whole world down a very dark path. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. It's absurd, but yet true. But first, in case you missed it, yesterday over on the Substack at brittgillette.substack.com, we put out this video, What Happens When You Die? A conversation with Don Perkins of According to Prophecy Ministries. So if you're not familiar with Don Perkins, you're in for quite a treat. He is a wonderful man and a biblical scholar, and you'll learn a lot from this. Share this video far and wide with your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, people who are curious about what happens when you die. This talks about what the Bible tells us and why we can rely on what the Bible tells us. So make sure to share this with other people. Also, on Wednesday night, we had the latest Bible Prophecy Roundtable with me and John Haller, Patrick Wood, Scott Townsend, David Bowen. We talked about a number of topics. There was a technical issue with the live stream on the YouTube channel when that started. So unfortunately, the link that went out in the emails prior to the start of that became broken as a result and didn't work. But you can still watch that live here. In case you missed it, just go to the live tab. I'll put a link in the description so that you can follow that as well if you haven't seen that. So, what in the world are they talking about in Albania? Well, let's look at this. This is from MSN. It says, world's first AI minister pregnant with 83 children, Albanian prime minister says. And here we have an example of what they're doing here. This looks very eerie to me, like they're, going to a fortune teller or something like that. And it's really no different than this when you look at what they're talking about. It says the world's first AI minister is pregnant with 83 children. Albania's prime minister has announced. Speaking in Berlin on Saturday, October 25th, Edi Rama revealed that Delia, who was introduced earlier this year, will soon give birth to more than 80 AI children, with each one assisting a member of parliament. He explained that they will participate in parliamentary sessions, keep records, and inform MPs on how to react. Mr. Rama added, when you go for a coffee, these kids will tell you what has been said when you were not there, and if you have to counterattack someone who mentioned you for the wrong reasons. So guys, this is what he's talking about are AI assistants. Yet he's using this language that this AI minister gave birth to these children and these kids can take care of you. It's very disturbing language to hear him speak this way. It says Delia was introduced to tackle corruption and promote transparency and innovation in Rama's cabinet. So again, we've warned about the dangers of AI companions, giving AI a personality, speaking to AI, relating to AI as if it's a real person. This is what the Prime Minister of Albania is engaged in. And now he's rolling this out to the entire parliament. All 83 members will have their own child of his AI minister. This is very dark and disturbing because it sets up these people to be deceived, makes them vulnerable to deception. We've talked about AI hallucinations and AI bias and just outright hostility from AI toward people. And so if now AI is perched on the shoulder, whispering in the ear of all of these government officials. Of course, we've seen other things that AI can do as well. We brought this up in the roundtable on Wednesday. We had this right here from the New York Post. It says Robbie Starbuck sues Google after AI bot accused him of sexual assault and links to a white supremacist. So here, Google Gemini has made all these outrageous claims about this conservative influencer, and it's done so for 2 straight years, and now he's suing. And, who do you appeal to when these things are just made up about you? And so much of the public is dependent on AI and search engines for their information. So he says here, quote, "What Google has done to my reputation during this 2-year campaign of defamation can't be undone," he told the Post. "Their AI consistently accused me of the most horrific crimes, and they backed their lies up by pretending that it was sourcing these allegations from major media outlets." Starbuck said that Google was aware of the issue for 2 years and allowed it to continue instead of working with me to end this kind of bias in AI. Quote, "No one, regardless of political belief, should ever experience this. Now is the time for all of us to demand transparent, unbiased AI that cannot be weaponized to harm people." So it's clear AI is not that now. It is not unbiased. It is not transparent. It's well documented how it hallucinates, how it just makes up information. And in this case, it made up very damaging information about a public figure and tried to destroy his reputation. And how do you get rid of this? How do you get this out of the public domain once it goes out there? And yet, in spite of all this bias, the Prime Minister of Albania thinks, well, every member of parliament should be using this as a tool for their governance. And not only that, not only using it as a tool, but referring to the AI minister as she with a name, and is pregnant with and about to give birth to all these children, and these children will assist you. This is outright insanity. And guys, it just reminds me of this. I'm not saying this is a fulfillment of this text, but it just reminds me of these verses from the Bible, from Romans chapter 1, verses 21 through 22. It says, "Yes, they knew God, but they wouldn't worship him as God or even give him thanks, and they began to think up foolish ideas of what God was like. As a result, their minds became dark and confused. Claiming to be wise, they instead became utter fools, and instead of worshiping the glorious, ever-living God, they worshipped idols made to look like mere people and birds and animals and reptiles." So guys, this is exactly what's going on. They're claiming to be wise, but they're utter fools. This is foolishness to make these claims, and it's going to lead all of Albania to a very dark place when you have governance by AI. And that's where many people want to lead the whole world, is toward governance by AI. Again, we've talked over and over about the dangers of AI companions. AI companions is really bad. AI companions in government is even worse. Again, when Doge came out and they were talking about, well, AI is going to make government more efficient. What did we say at that time? I said, I don't want government to be more efficient. I want government to be more limited. I want less government, smaller government, not more efficient government. They're already violating our rights. Do we want them to be more efficient in doing that? So this is a bad idea to see these tools inserted into the governmental process, especially the governmental decision-making process. And some people would say, "Oh, Britt, this is over the top. That's not what they're doing. This is more like a personal assistant." Then why not just say, this tool is available as your personal assistant? Why humanize these tools, these algorithms, and act as if they're going to be doing actual work in the legislative process, because they're making people accustomed to that. They're getting people used to this idea that AI is an entity right? A person, and it's the same as a human being, and it's over here making these decisions, and it's doing so in an efficient way to benefit you. And that's where all of this is headed. Mark my words, they're going to keep pushing this and pushing this, not just in Albania, but all over the world. And again, this is absolute insanity. Albania is in talks and discussions right now to enter the European Union, and they probably see this as a resume enhancement. Look at what we've done, because this is on par with some of the absolute craziness that the EU engages with. And they're probably like, hey, that's a great idea. Why don't we, we could get that digital euro passed for sure by Parliament if we had AI members of Parliament, right? Then we wouldn't have to actually convince people that our clamor for control over every aspect of their life is a good thing. AI will agree with us right off the bat. So guys, this is where all of this is going. It's going toward more AI inserted into every aspect of society, including the governmental decision-making process, and even places like on the battlefield with the decision process to kill. And they claim, oh no, the UN's putting protections in to make sure there's always a human in the loop. No. When war comes to war, if an advantage is enjoyed by a side that deploys AI in the decision-making process, they will do that. And so we're going to see this roll out in more and more places, and more people embrace this. This is not good. This is going to eventually be part of, I believe, the global government of the Antichrist. That's where all of this is going, is AI enables the governance of the entire globe, because it is so efficient in ways that past empires, their bureaucracies simply could not do that. But now we're headed toward global government, and AI is going to be an integral part of that global government. That's where all of this is headed. It's another sign, it's another indication of the times in which we live. Jesus and the prophets told us the signs to look for the second coming, and we see those signs all around us today. Jesus said, when you begin to see these signs, look up. Your salvation draws near. I'm right at the door. Jesus is right at the door. So make sure that you're sharing the good news of Jesus Christ, the hope you have in him, with as many people as possible. So guys, let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. And God willing, I'll see you on Monday.